Welcome to the COAA podcast, which is devoted to the idea that a team of people led by a good owner sharing best practices in a culture built on trust and respect will complete better projects. I'm Howie Ferguson. I'm the executive director of COAA, the Construction Owners Association of America. And today we're happy to have Tim Stillwell with Georgia Southern University. We're going to get Tim to tell us his story, but first I'm going to let my co-pilot introduce herself.
Hey, everybody. My name is Lucy Castro, and I'm the Manager of Operations and Administration here at COA. I am the yin to the yang, I guess, but if you're being honest, we're probably more the same than is necessary. So with that, let's get started.
Right on. Thanks, Luce. So Tim, in as much detail as you want, I don't know if I'd go all the way back to birth, but at least professionally, tell us just kind of your professional journey, your story of kind of what you do and where, but how you got there and maybe some of the why.
Absolutely. So I graduated from Georgia Southern back in 2011 with a civil engineering technologies degree. Right after graduation, it wasn't a great economy, and so I was actually cutting grass at the airport with a civil engineering degree. So that was nice for a little bit. But I was given the opportunity to manage the maintenance team at the Armstrong Atlantic State University in Savannah. And so I started there. I was literally supposed to be there 3 months because someone retired and they were trying to help me boost my resume. 3 months contract, temporary, and then you can, be good for your development. But okay. And that 3 months turned into six. That six turned into a year, and then stayed there, got hired on full time and was there 7 years. And 2017, 2018, Georgia Southern and Armstrong were consolidated, and the Board of Regents merged our two schools together. Still stayed on in the same role with maintenance in that. A job opportunity came up in the construction division as the Associate Director of Construction. And so I applied for that. I've been in this role since about September of 2018, being the Associate Director of Construction here at Georgia Southern. So we have three campuses. We have the Statesboro campus, which is the largest. We have the Savannah campus or the Armstrong campus. And then we have a Hinesville campus close to a military base, Fort Stewart, down there in Hinesville. So we do projects on all three campuses. We're one of the few groups that are not campus specific. All of our project managers will be in Statesboro, and we're an hour away from the Savannah campus. And so we go back and forth constantly. We have offices down there we can sit in and what they call the word, hoteling space, I guess,
Yeah.
to go down there and share. And so we pretty much manage all the projects. Our department, facilities planning, design, and construction, it's informally split into two, design and construction. And so we have electrical engineer, we have civil engineer, we have an interior designer, landscape architect, a space manager. We have 3 or 4 project managers and myself. And so all the engineers and designers, they also do projects. So they're half design, half project managers themselves. The electrical engineer will do most of the electrical centric or specific projects. Civil's guys going to get most of the civil projects, and that's kind of just how we organize it. So it works well for us.
So do you spend time, I'm guessing I know the answer, but since y'all have 3 campuses, do you do mostly virtual, or do you end up spending time on each of those campuses each week?
Oh, we're each campus each week. One of the things that we do, we always have pre-cons before meetings. If the project is on a campus, the pre-con is on that campus. The OACs are on that campus. We do not want any other campus to feel like they're a second tier campus. And so everything that we do, that's our campus. This is our campus. We're on all of them. So we'll take that 60-minute drive to Savannah. We'll have project managers that say, I'm going to do Tuesday and Thursday in Savannah. So they have it scheduled out of which days are going to be on what campus, and they all share the load of all the projects.
Right on. All right. So Tim, talk about your team, your organization, above at your level and below your level. I know we were talking about before we hit record about y'all are up for an award, a Georgia Southern Award, which is awesome. And part of that is, continuous improvement, striving to get better. But another part of it, I think, is culture. Talk a little bit about your team and what do you feel like you do well, and maybe some things you're trying to improve on and how COA has maybe fit into some of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our director is Matthew Shingler, and the way it was designed originally is the director has two associate directors, associate director of design and associate director of construction, which is my position. The design associate director has been vacant for a while. We did have a campus architect, but when he resigned, that position just hasn't been filled yet. But we don't treat it like we're divided like that. We really, when I first got here, I know coming, the thing I had to work on the most was building those relationships with my people that I was going to be leading. I have to smack their hand all the time. This is my boss, Tim. I'm not your boss. I'm your supervisor. I hate the word boss because it's a completely different name than what a leader should be, in my opinion. And so you're earning their trust, building those relationships with them to where, if we had a battle, they'd follow me into it. I'd follow them into it. Never give them something that I wouldn't do. And the biggest thing that I think we do well at is, the people that I lead, they're people. They have families. Then they work at Georgia Southern. To me, they're not a number, not an employee, not an asset. They have lives, and I think it's important to treat people that way as a leader. Have empathy and know that they have struggles and stories, and not everything is just so important to where it can't wait another day. It can't wait another minute. And so that's one of the things I think our department really does good at is creating that family type atmosphere as much as you can without, having sleepovers or anything like that. But, we hang out after work. We have scheduled events. We do team building exercises together. There's a lot of things we try to, one of the things we're going to be working on here shortly is I'm going to try to buy everybody the same book. And we're going to read a leadership book together, like a chapter a week or something like that, and go through it and self-learn. One of Georgia Southern's, it's not a motto, it's like a mission vision statement, is growing ourselves to grow others. And our president is really
Nice.
big on that. And so we do a lot of professional development so that I could have my team do more professional development and growing ourselves so we can grow that next set down. And so that we don't like being siloed. We don't, we work well with others. It's just really good.
That's fabulous, man. If I wasn't so happy at COA, I think I might have to look at come working with you. Oh, that. No, seriously, I'm not kidding. That sounds like exactly my style and the right way to do it, Tim. It sounds like your people are probably pretty happy. Doesn't mean there aren't problems and challenges, but
Right.
I think what you're getting at is the same philosophy I have. You build that culture and respect and know a little something about people and have a relationship so that when stuff does hit the fan, you can lean back on that. Um,
Right. Yeah, I've always, I don't remember where I heard it. It's been a long time ago, but it was, you train your people well enough to where they're able to grow and leave and do something better, but you treat them well enough to where they don't want to and they stay. I don't want ever to pigeonhole somebody where they can't grow. I want them to grow and get the experience and development they need to leave and do something better. But I want to treat them well enough to where they're like, I don't want to leave. I want to stay here. And so it's just something we live by around here. So
that's beautiful. All right, so the follow up to that, because it kind of relates, or it could. Um, I think the whole world in every industry, way beyond ours. So this isn't just a higher ed construction thing. Uh, Maybe especially since COVID, maybe it started before then. It's more and more challenging to both recruit and then retain good people. I don't know where y'all are in terms of trying to grow the staff, or you're about where you want to be, whatever. But talk a little bit about that. And again, maybe it leans back on, hey, what we offer is a great culture, but how do you intentionally go about when it comes to either recruiting people, kind of what can you offer them beyond salary, and then how do you, maybe harder is retaining them? What do y'all do to do that better?
right. And so we've been pretty blessed. Our newest team member has been here 5 years, and our
Mm,
oldest has been here 28. So we people get here and they stay. There's no secret that there's a lot of higher paying jobs out there. We are probably 35 minutes from the new Hyundai mega site that is
mm,
getting built, which is 3,000 acres that they've cleared out to do electric vehicle cars between halfway between Savannah and Statesboro. I mean, it's the largest land purchase the state of Georgia ever done. They're going to be, I think, employing like 8,000 new people, and so
wow.
that's going to suck a lot of the workforce away from here. But our group is has been pretty good about retaining others. Now, as far as what we can offer, I mean, it's like every other state entity. Every other PM in the private sector probably getting paid more money than you can. Benefits only go so far. Everyone's having insurance now. Everyone has some type of retirement. We have the same the same the rest of the state does as far as vacation and things like that. But the retention piece that we do is mainly the culture. The way they're treated here is just so much better than the way you're treated in the private sector. I can't come into your office and say, I don't like you no more, you're fired. That doesn't work like that around here. And so the state's put things in place to prevent things like that. And so that's not a big consolidation prize to not making as much money as some of the private guys, but it's basically what we have to play with. And so we really focus on treating our people well, the best we can, and empowering them to make their own decisions. Like, I don't like to micromanage. Our director doesn't like to micromanage. If I give somebody a project and expect them to lead it, I know they're going to mess up, because if they don't mess up, they're not trying. And so I don't dig their grave for them when they mess up. We talk about it. We coach. How can we do better? Wait till they've made the decision and then tell them, I would have probably done it differently. I'd have maybe done it this way, but let them make that decision to grow from it. Because everything that I know and every piece of advice that I give those guys and gals is from things that I've messed up on. I don't hardly remember anything that I've done that I've did right, but I know every mistake that I've made, so I don't do it again. And so I think just trying to have that level of confidence in your people to be able to let them own their job, and so they're not just pushing the button you tell them to. They're able to make those decisions and make those contributions themselves.
Fantastic, man. And I kind of suspected it that maybe the biggest thing you offer. Again, I come from higher ed, so I know it's not usually salary, but that, I mean, especially, I don't want to pigeonhole, but especially with younger folks, I think they're paying more attention than my generation did to overused phrase, but work-life balance and
Yes.
finding joy and fulfillment in your work and liking the people you work with. That stuff matters. Now, you gotta earn the money and pay the bills, but anyway, it sounds like you're offering, all that other stuff, and that matters a lot, more than
Yeah.
maybe it did when I was your age or younger. Um, Getting more into project stuff, Tim, and this is, you can go anywhere with this, because I'm sure the answer is it probably varies on the project, but just in general, be as broad or specific as you want, and think about, again, I know you have large projects, smaller projects, renovation, construct, again, you can go anywhere, but the holy triumvirate of most projects, as you know, when it comes to measures of success, the big three always are quality or scope. We got to build what these folks want us,
Mhm.
need us to build, budget, and schedule. That's the kind of beyond those three. And again, it may vary project to project. What are other ways that your organization measures success? It could be, I'll give you an example. Maybe it's you've got sustainability goals, or maybe it's joy and fulfillment. I mean, that could be one. How else besides the big three do y'all call a project successful?
Um, that's actually a good question. A successful project to us isn't nothing's ever going to be the schedule they give you when it first starts. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
one of the biggest challenges we've found is you need a chiller. That's 40 weeks out. Or you need a generator. That's 52 weeks out. And so you having pre-planning and knowing that ahead of time. Before, a while ago, you were able to start demo on a project knowing that this piece of equipment is going to be here this day, so you can go ahead and start a couple of months early. Now you can't do that, because the day before it's supposed to ship, they go, hey, your air handler is going to be another 2 months. Well, now I've got no building with no air handler. And so that's been a challenge, working through those material and lead times and things like that. But as far as being successful, it's communication piece. I know it's a cliche thing, like communication is the key to everything, but it really is. There's a big difference. The analogy I use with them is, you order something from the post office, they're shipping it. They're like, hey, we shipped it. You're going to get it when you get it. And you don't know if it's coming until it's in your mailbox. Versus like Amazon, hey, we got your order. Hey, it's boxed up. It's on a truck. Hey, it's in Texas. Hey, it's in Alabama. Hey, it just crawled. I mean, every step of where that package is. They should live stream the guy carrying it to your porch sometime. I mean, there's just so much communication. And a lot of that is just people just want to know, even if there's nothing to tell them. One of the things we've tried to do is create those communication plans with our people to where, you know, you might be getting a generator and it might be 6 months out, but we still will report back to you every month saying nothing's changed. It's still going to be June. Nothing's changed. Still going to be June, because we found a lot of times if you say nothing, then they're asked by someone else and they go, I hadn't heard from the facilities guys in 2 months. I don't even know if we're still doing the project. And so that
Mhm.
just spirals out of control. So just people just want to know what's going on, even if there's no information to tell them, to say, hey, hadn't forgot about you. Still got your project online. We're still waiting on this date. And so to me, the better the communication, the better the project's going to be. And that goes with not just the end users, but the architects, the designers, the vendors, the contractors. Just working well together is successful. And we always do, usually for the larger ones, and I say large, like if it's over 100,000 large, post-project critiques. So we'll bring in the architect and the contractor. Everything's done. All the bills are paid. We will sit down and go, what did we do that you think we could do better as an owner? What
Nice.
did you do that we think you can do better as a designer or an architect or the contractor? And so we're open to feedback and honest, and ask for feedback. There's a lot of times that we ask for those meetings before the contractors do, just so we know we're not perfect, and we know this is the game you play where there's two sides to everything. They're here to make money. We're here to get things built at a fair price and have it done right. And so working through our nuances to where, oh, this the way we act probably could be improved in this area.
Hmm.
So
That's fabulous. When you do those, I love that. By the way, Tim, we did back way back when I was an owner, we did written evaluations of all of our vendors, either every 6 months or maybe at the end of the project. And occasionally for some projects would do like a team, half a day and bring in some breakfast. And but I love the idea of doing it, on every project with the whole do you all, when you do that, do you also involve the end users, the internal client, or are they not part of that meeting?
usually they're not part of it because with our OACs, it's just our team, the contractor, and the architect. To us, we are the end customer. End user is our customer, so they deal with just us.
Right.
Unless it's programming or things like that where they get their input. One of the things that this might be a little sidestep from what we were talking about, but for our projects, our project managers are the single point of contact for everyone else in the project. If the designer needs to tell the contractor something, he will send it through the project manager, and vice versa. If the end user needs to say something, they will send it to the project manager, and it'll go out from there. It just helps have one person for everybody to come to for solutions or problems or issues, and it empowers the project manager. They're leading this project, and we do pre-cons and we go around the room and do introductions. I don't say, hi, I'm Tim Stillwell, associate director of construction. I'm Tim Stillwell and I work with facilities. They don't need to know my title. I don't want them to treat me differently by what I am. I want them to treat me based on the opinions I have and the value that I bring to it, not my position. And I want the project manager to be the owner of those meetings. And so it works really well with that. And but when we do those post-project critiques, it's the project managers, the architects, the engineers, everyone that was involved in those OACs of building the actual project. And we also are trying to get better at doing, for lack of a better word, customer reviews that we send. And I'll try to call the end users and say, how'd our team do? What could we do better? And kind of get feedback on our PMs without sending a form going fill this out, because no one wants
Right.
those 5-minute surveys, 5-star things. They just build it into a conversation and kind of keep track of it, how we did.
You guys are, I think you know it, Tim, but if you didn't know it, you guys are pretty much living the COAA way. And the beauty
Yep.
is, uh, you kind of were doing it even before you found COAA. It's just like you kind of found some like-minded owners, and it's
Yeah.
almost maybe confirmation of that what y'all have been trying to do is a good thing. We didn't necessarily learn it from COAA. It may just be getting reinforced. Anyway, thumbs up, man. Sounds like everything y'all are practicing is good stuff.
I think that's
Um,
what really drove us to COA. I mean, I didn't know a lot about COA initially. I was always in those APA tracks and GAPA, which is the Georgia version of APA. And then I think me and Sandy came to that first COA conference, and it clicked like, wow, this is the only organization that I've found that thinks how our department thinks. And I didn't come home with a bunch of cups and hats and pens and fun stories. I came home with a notebook full of ideas to talk to the team about. and ideas and challenges and things. This is what I found out at COAA. This is what me and Sandy saw. What if we start doing this? There's no other organization like that from an owner perspective that does what y'all do, that mirrors almost exactly what we try to do.
Yeah, but don't you want that cup? Or
We can get you
do
a
you
cup.
like this? We can get you a cup.
I do like the cups. I do like the cups.
If I'm being honest, I kind of
Yeah,
do. I like
I
the
want
big
a cup.
stadium ones.
I like,
big-
yeah, with straw.
I just have one more. Lucy may have something for you, Tim, but the last one I have for you is kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit corny almost, but I think you're the perfect guy to ask this to, because you're certainly not old, but I mean, going all the way back to mowing grass at the airport as a civil engineer, and the whole journey, you have enough calluses and experiences and some scar tissue to be able to now look back and say, man, if I could go back in a time machine and tell young Tim mowing grass at the airport, or earlier than that, something, if only I had known this, what would that thing be? What would you tell your younger self if you could?
Don't give up and continue just to be a good person. I think that gets you further than anything you know, who you know. I mean, you can learn anything, but you can't learn how to be a good person. You're either a good person or you're not. You can't compromise your integrity to advance. Just be who you are, put the work in, and it'll come if it's due to you. And it's kind of how it's happened for me. I haven't really chased that corporate ladder. I haven't really tried. I just did my job, and as opportunities come, I might like that. Let me see what I can do, and it happens. And so that's kind of how it's just that's what I would say. Just don't give up. There's been times in the past where I was super discouraged. I mean, sitting there on a lawnmower with a civil engineering diploma, really was like, you gotta be kidding me. I said, this was stupid. But then opportunity happened because of a connection that I'd made while in college, just being a good person. I mean, I wasn't, in my opinion, deserving of that first chance that I got. That first 3 months was given to me, and I didn't earn that first 3 months, but I earned every month after that. That's give people the opportunity to do good, even if they're not there yet. They may just never given the chance. So
Be a good person and hard work, man. That's the words to live by. Sounds
yeah.
good to me.
Yeah.
Lucy, you got anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. I was just wondering if I should come work for you, Tim. I
No,
mean,
you should
you
not.
sound like the place to be.
We are kind of a big deal around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy, you're not going anywhere.
No.
But Tim, it was a pleasure, man. We're thrilled. I'm not just saying this because we're on a podcast. We're really happy to have you, Sandy, and the rest of the bunch. Like I said, we haven't taught you anything. Hopefully, we're reinforcing what you were already doing. But you're part of the family, and we're very thankful that you are. And thanks for your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.